Hello everyone, today I'm going to try to give my thoughts on when I think Cardano will pop and give a more technical analysis of each of the individual resistances for Cardano. First, I'm going to try to explain what the general market is going to do, or what I think the general market is going to do, and then see how it applies to Cardano, because a lot of these crypto assets are interlinked with one another. So when Bitcoin moves, a lot of these coins move in that direction. So we're going to see how it affects Cardano and what are the realistic price targets that it's going to hit. So a few days ago, I made a video on Bitcoin explaining what I think was going to happen in the next few days, where it's going to pop up, and it does look like it's heading in that direction as of today, January 11th. If we assume that that's the case, then one of a few things is very likely to happen. So to summarize what I think the general market is going to do, Bitcoin is, what I believe Bitcoin going to do is going to go up, hit this blue median line, this using Ichimoku cloud, right here under the setting 2060, 120, 30, and pull back down to February, much like it did here in the month of May to July. So I do believe that we're going to have something similar. That does not mean that Bitcoin can't do something different where it can continue to go up, or it can go up and then go back down, or even just go straight down. But based on what's happening, the most realistic outcome, I believe, is hitting this and hitting in February. If we have that assumption, right, then we could extrapolate that onto Cardano. So let me go ahead and put on these indicators. If Bitcoin decides to do that, one of two situations is going to happen with Cardano. Either Cardano is going to go up, hit this blue medium line as well, and then go down, or go up a little bit higher and then pull back. For Cardano's case, I do think that it has been oversold quite a bit. So a tendency that I think it will most likely do is move up a little bit more than just this blue median line. So in general, coins like to move in series of 30%, 60%, or 100%. So under those assumptions, we could see where it's likely to fall. So let's suppose 30%, right? 30% from this bottom would be $1.40. 60% would be to $1.78. So one of these, and the other one is 100%. But the odds of it going straight up to 100% is unlikely, in my opinion. That doesn't mean it can't happen. It's just there are a lot of coins. You would have to die a lot in order for you to hit 100%. So let me give you an example. So let's take Jasmine. In Jasmine case, right, it took a negative 83%, negative 83% to move a 100% move up here. So if we look at Cardano, it has only dropped negative 65%. And negative 65%, negative 83%, is actually a huge difference, because the difference between negative 65% and the difference between negative 83%, let me just go ahead and put some lines in. So this is negative 83%, would be 50 cents. So a difference of that would be, you would need to drop an additional 50% from where it's at. So we can more or less rule out the 100% pump. So this is not likely to happen in the near term. What I do think is going to happen is more likely going to hover around this region. So if you use the Ichimoku settings, typically coins have resistances around the blue median line or the red median line. And in this scenario, I do believe that Cardano is likely to be in this range, between probably at most 170 to where it's at. So, and it's very likely to just match this local high. So if Cardano were to pop, then it's very likely that it's going to go all the way up here before it goes back down into February, since we believe that Bitcoin is going to do this, right? If Bitcoin does something else, then Cardano would be a different story. But usually when you fall like this, typically when coins fall straight diagonally, it needs to build a base before it can pop. So it needs to form some sort of stability down here. Like if you look at this, right, it fall diagonally and then form the base and before it can pop. So that is very likely to happen in my opinion, where we may stop at a 30% pump and then roll over, or we can pull up all the way up here and roll over. But either way, more likely than not, we will roll over in February. From this point forward is when Bitcoin will decide whether or not it wants to continue a bull rally or a bear market. If it goes to bear market, then Cardano has no chance of surviving. It's very unlikely that it will continue up. It will just continue down with Bitcoin into the next few months. So if that happens, if it goes to the bear market, then we're likely to see Cardano go into more or less this region, back down to 50 cents, back down to all this region before it can, before the bull rally ends and heads back up. So if Bitcoin drops from here down all the way to 30,000, then we can assume that Cardano must drop at least 25%. So we're most likely going to be heading into this range. We're very likely not going to breach any of these levels. It's very hard, especially something like Cardano, to go to beyond this point, beyond 83%, just like Jasmine, before it makes any sort of like major pump. But if it is a bull rally, then Cardano would get first movers advantage, where it would be one of the first coins to pivot from here and start going up. From there, the likely point that where resistance were, so for example, like if we go up, pull back, right, then it's very likely to get stopped at the 0.618, much like it matches here. So this is the most likely outcome in my opinion, where it goes up, pulls back down, pull back up, and go all the way up here, and then pull back down before it heads up higher. So we're not. So for for this first quarter, we're likely going to stay within this range, and then for the second quarter, if the coin becomes a bull market, then we're likely to be in this range. I don't see Cardano going into making new higher highs, at least into April or May, or maybe even longer than that. But that's my thoughts on Cardano. Hopefully you found this video informative. If you do, just give a like, so give a chance for this channel to grow. All right, thank you. Have a good day.